Well, one of my lucky days. I've traveled 2,100 miles to be here in Alpine, Utah, to talk to some of my very favorite Mohawks. And we found one of them and captured him, wrestled him, and convinced him to do an interview with us. And Segon, your name is?
My name is Jacob Ambiel.
And your Indian name is?
Ottawagan.
Rough translation?
I've never given a translation, actually.
We'll get one for you. And where do you live?
Alpine, Utah.
And you were raised here in Utah?
Mm-hmm, my whole life.
Okay. Now, you are, Indian-wise, you're an Iroquois Mohawk with the Turtle Clan, which means family. And I had a few questions for you, if you don't mind. What has been your favorite accomplishment in life?
I think probably one of my favorite accomplishments would be I'm going to Utah State University, and I'm a religious studies major, and I wrote a really big research paper for one of my classes, and I spent a lot of time on it, and it was like a difficult subject, but I got a very good grade. I got like a 95 out of 100 on it, so that was probably one of my favorite accomplishments, just because of the amount of work and the subject that I love that I put into it.
And it's an unfair question, but how old are you at this point?
I'm 20 years old.
Wow. And I wish I was anywhere close to that myself. Now, this is an optional question. What has been the very worst moment of your life?
The very worst moment of my life was my freshman year of college, and I'm going to be a junior now. I was dating a girl, and she suffered a lot from depression and self-harm and things, and it got to the point where she attempted to take her life one day. And I had to call her parents to go and grab her and take her to the hospital. And so that was probably the worst day of my life.
And of all the other creatures on this planet, Mother Earth, do you have any advice for us poor saps out here?
I would say that no person is intentionally rude. It's because of the relationship that they have with themselves, is what I've learned dating that girl and being with her, and what she struggled with, that the reason people react or interact with others is because of the way they view or think of themselves. And I think that if everyone were to take that into consideration, that you would understand a lot more. So
yeah. And now with all these years on Mother Earth, I mean, you're 20, you're an old man now. What lessons has Mother Earth taught you?
That everyone has their own struggles, that everyone has their own problems, whether they're big to you or small to others. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, everyone is struggling with different things, and that it's important to realize that we're all just trying to do our best with what we have. So we got to do our best to be with everyone else as well.
Wow, this really hits home for me, and it's maybe not be the time to mention it, but my mentor, Sanagwade, as I'm, probably waist high at the time, I come up and tell him, Sanagwade, I just don't understand it. Why do all these bad things happen to me? And he said, Guggy, bad things happen to everybody. It's how you deal with them that will define your greatness. And it's so come around over and over and over again. And the question I've been dying to ask you is, how do you feel about being native?
For a while, I didn't know that much about it. It was just something like my grandma talked about or my mom talked about, and it didn't really mean that much to me. But over the years, like, as I've learned more about it and learned about history and culture and the stories that have happened and everything, to me, it means, it almost gives me like a want to do better, or like a responsibility to like represent a lot of people that haven't been represented, and represent, the great people in our family circle and everything.
Wow. Thank you very much. Ona.